How was your experience so far?
A few hours back it was very bad, but now just amazing.
Because we're finally here. But I think in morning will be better when you can see behind
Yeah,
the
in morning
landscape.
it would be just amazing. And we have to wake up early, so we will just go and sleep.
You can camp or get a room here.
Yeah, both.
But camping, it's very cold.
But it's extremely cold here, as cold. If a Irish girl is feeling cold here, you can understand how much cold it can be.
No, it's actually not that bad. It's just if I was in Ireland, I would have a coat, you know, so it would be normal. But here I'm just having jumpers. It's 6:30 a.m. We didn't get up as earlier as planned, but heading to the temple now, and hopefully it will be clear skies and that we can see the scenery in the background. We did go last night as well, but yeah, it was just very dark and my phone wasn't capturing anything nicely. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get to go into the temple today. Hopefully the queues aren't too long. Yeah, just gonna get some chai and chill around that area. I also want to get a couple of souvenirs as well, and then we'll probably head home, well, back to Sonpriyag, and then from Sonpriyag on Thursday then we go back to Rishikesh. So still like a long journey ahead, but I think we're probably gonna get the chopper home. I mean, I don't know, Utsav said he's up for doing the walk again back, but I know that I could, but it's like I just feel like it will take up a lot of time. I'd rather just like get back quicker. Like it's quite cold here and I feel like we're a bit unprepared for the weather. Like I just have a hoodie and a scarf that I bought on the way, but even in this room that we booked, like there's no towels or anything. We haven't been able to shower. It's even like too cold to have a shower without having a towel, do you know what I mean? So yeah, so let's go to the mandir. I look like a boy.
You are a boy.
You put it like this, I didn't.
I do. वो वाला भी लगा दो, वो संतरी.
This is the rock in the 2013 floods that protected the temple. Hello, thank you for making it to the end of the vlog. I literally never did any outro or explanation about how Kedarnath was in the end, so I'm filming this like literally 3 weeks later. I'm in Pune now, but yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Kedarnath trip, how it was, how I found it, advice if you were thinking of going. So first of all, I want to start off by saying like it was genuinely one of the most difficult things I've ever done. Like it just involved so much strength. It's also a bit scary because you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Even there's so like hundreds, thousands of other people doing this trek, it's still, you kind of still have this feeling like, what if something happens to me here? Like, how will I get to XYZ? Like, you kind of are like thinking like this. I was definitely worried about like, you know, food and drink, because even going outside to take food and stuff or at roadside stalls, like obviously for me isn't the best idea because there's a high chance I will get sick from it. So I was definitely worried about that on the trek, like what am I going to eat or drink on the way. Oh well, drinking is fine, obviously I can buy bottled water, but it was actually really good. Like the whole way through the trek there was literally like so many shops and stalls the whole way there. Like you would never be just in a period of the trek where you're stuck without having the option to eat something. So that was amazing. Like I didn't expect that at all, because like you're literally up like in the mountains, like in the middle of nowhere. There was also medical points on the way as well, so if someone did get into trouble or something, like there would have been people there to help. Like there's everything you need. Yeah, 100%. In terms of the weather, so like it's October now. When we did this it was the end of September. The weather was off and on sunny and then raining, and then you're amongst the clouds because you're so high up, and in those moments I actually felt like really cold. So it was such a mixture of like cold, hot, sun, wind, rain, like everything. It's so funny, you can see in the clip at the start I was like, why are people bringing sticks? Like how is that stick going to help you like do this track? Like I was like, what is that about? I thought it was just like a souvenir gimmicky type thing, but oh my god, you need the stick, because when it rains the track is very mucky, so when it rains like it just becomes sludge, and if you're going uphill like it's slippy. It's actually like dangerous. So many people were like falling, not like falling off a cliff or anything, but like, you know, slipping. It actually was really necessary to get the stick, so do get a stick. Once we got there, the first thing when you first come in is like there's just hundreds of tents on either side of you. That seemed to be like a popular option, was to get a tent. Obviously they would be the cheapest option as well. Honestly, when we got on top it was like really cold. Luckily we did buy some warmer clothes before we went. By warmer clothes I literally just bought a hoodie and a scarf, but thank god we at least even had those, because it was really cold up there, and especially at night, especially overnight. So we didn't want to stay in a tent because we knew that we weren't equipped with the equipment to sleep in a tent overnight. Like we didn't have coats, we didn't have a sleeping bag, we would be freezing to death. So a lot of this area is still under construction. There are so many, what I presume are like lodges and hotels being built, but they're all very basic. Like the accommodation that's there is all very, very basic. You're not going to get anything fancy in this area. Like it's literally just a room with a bed, and so expensive. Oh my god, like I was shocked when like we had talked to a couple of different people trying to get a room, and they were all quoting around the same prices, which was like between 4,000 and 5,000 rupees INR, which is the equivalent of like 50 euro or more, which for India, like that's really expensive. Like even in Delhi you could get like a good hotel for that, do you know what I mean? So I guess because obviously people have done this trek, they need to stay somewhere, because that's the whole thing, is you have to do this trek the day before, and then in the morning you can go to the temple. Like there's no option, you have to stay overnight. Like you can't trek there and trek back the same day. You know what I mean? So that's why I guess they do just charge people crazy prices, and you know, can get away with it because people have no choice, they need to stay somewhere. So yeah, we paid pretty much that, like I think 4,000 INR for a very basic like just room with a bed. Even though we had like, they actually did have huge blankets on the bed, which was great, but even with it, like we were freezing. Like I didn't even shower. I did not even shower after that 12-hour trek because it was so cold. So I definitely wasn't expecting to be that cold. So if you are going, like just be smart and pack a coat or something warm, I don't know. We kind of got up around like 5 a.m, close to 6. We still weren't waiting like that long to get into the temple. I would say we were queuing for like just over an hour to get into the temple, but it seemed to move like quite quickly, the line, so it wasn't too bad. Once I got into the temple, it was like, you know, I was like, okay, wow, like this is special, this is amazing. Like it was just an amazing like atmosphere, and the atmosphere from the people as well. It was a bit like uncomfortable at times because people were literally just like pushing and like shoving and like trying to get there, and you're just like, oh my god, like chill. But it's India, like I don't expect anything less. That combined with the
fact that you literally had to like go in and out and there was no option to kind of like stay for a second was of course understandable given the volume of people there, but it was just a little bit like kind of made the experience like a little bit less special. Like it was more like, okay, you just literally see and then you leave. But it was still amazing, like the views as well from behind the temple of the snow-capped mountains was just incredible. Like it was so incredible, and I'm so happy that we got to see that, because I was kind of worried, like what if it's so cloudy you can't see them, because there was lots of moments throughout the day where they were covered with clouds so you couldn't see any view behind. But so lucky I got to see, like with the mountains in the background. Like it was just so stunning, so incredible. And yeah, I'll just never in my lifetime will I forget this experience. It was like truly like one of those once in a lifetime experiences, I feel. Also, to talk about another fun thing is the transport. So the ways that you can do this trek are by walking, helicopter, or by donkey or mule, goda. Oh my god, Sustagoda. This phrase will never leave my mind. Yeah, I have so much to say on this topic about the mules, about the horses, donkeys being used. I'm not some like animal rights person. It was really like tough to see these donkeys just being like literally made to like run up these huge steep mountains, you know, and luggage on their back, not just the people but their luggage as well. They were like slipping because like there's so much mud, there's slippy rocks, it's muddy, it's rocky, it's dangerous, and they're literally making the horses like run up and down these like hills, and it's sad because they're almost slipping, and it's dangerous as well for the person on it. I can completely understand an elderly person taking it or a child taking it if they're exhausted. Seeing literally people my age or young adults, you know, 20s, 30s, like that are normal, fit, healthy people, like choosing just to take the donkey out of their own, like you shouldn't go then, you know, like that's my opinion, is like you shouldn't go if you're not willing to do that, you know. Yeah, that was like the one downside of the whole thing. The helicopter, we didn't do much research about this whole thing, if you may or may not be able to tell. When we started the trek, we noticed like helicopters are flying by every few minutes, and then I was like, oh, like yeah, you can get a helicopter here, and I was like, oh, like I didn't know that. Obviously, like I wasn't like I wanted to do this trek, I wasn't thinking about getting a helicopter, but once we reached there, I was like, there's no way I can walk that back. Like I literally was like, there's just no way like I would be able to do that the next day, like doing that trek again the next day. Like I was just like, there's just no way. So I was like, we're definitely getting the helicopter. Like I don't care what I have to pay for it, like I'm willing to do it, like I can't walk back. So we went to the helicopter pad area, and there was a good lot of people waiting around and stuff, but I just assumed like, okay, they have tickets already, they're waiting for the helicopters. But I had noticed that no helicopters had come that morning. I was kind of like, what's going on? So Utsav went around, chatted to people, tried to figure out what was going on, and basically you can only book the helicopter stuff online. Once the online bookings go, then you can go to the physical counter. But there was already a queue of people at the physical counter because they were waiting. The physical tickets only open up once all of the online bookings are full. There was no online bookings, like there was no slots available or anything. Apparently they just come up randomly. I don't know how it works, but it seemed like something you would have needed to book in advance, like days before. We were waiting around in this helicopter area for a while, realised that we could just sit there and wait and see does some online slots open up, but like there's already a queue of people here. It was kind of seeming like we could be just waiting there for another day, you know what I mean? So we started walking back, we started doing the trek back, and it was actually fine. Downhill was obviously way more easier than uphill. It was still tiring, but it wasn't near as bad, and I quite enjoyed actually the time back. It just felt quicker. It was like much easier. Yeah, it was fine. So yeah, it was just, it was such an adventure. Like it was amazing, crazy. The most difficult thing I've done 100%, but like it just made me feel like really strong as a person. It was like, I can't believe I did that. Like I'm proud of myself. So there were so many good things that came out of it, and just once you actually reach there and you see that mandir, like it's amazing. Like it's really, really amazing, the story and the history behind it. it feels like such a special place. Like, I'm not just saying that, like, it really does feel like something meaningful is there. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I've been blabbing on so much, but I just wanted to put in all of those points just to kind of, for people who are curious about it or thinking of going, that you have some insight into what to expect. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching another vlog. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.